talking about the world heavyweight champion. If you start talking to him like that, if you shove him like that, he's going to react.
It's ridiculous, and you see these scuffles and all this nonsense at press conferences, and that is where it goes wrong.
Start pressing when you run like a little punk. Plain and simple. What's going to happen?
Shakur Stevenson suddenly lunges at Teofimo Lopez Sr. backstage after an explosive press conference, and in seconds what began as sharp words mutates into raw chaos. The tension was already simmering on stage, but behind the curtains is where tempers snap and lines vanish. In boxing, language cuts deep, yet when respect feels violated, responses come violently fast. This flashpoint didn't just shock witnesses, it dragged the entire fight story into a harsher, unforgiving spotlight.
What's that? No! Somebody take my money! No! Don't touch me!
Eddie Hearn refused to soften his stance, publicly stripping Teofimo Lopez Sr. of dignity by drawing a hard line. The moment someone drags a fighter's mother into the fire, the moral high ground collapses instantly. Hearn stressed any man would snap under that provocation, and that is precisely what Shakur did. To him, this wasn't scandal, it was an inevitable reaction to open, calculated disrespect.
Your buttons, when someone shoves you like that, when someone starts talking about your mum, no man, look, I'm a complete pussy, right? If you start talking about my mum and all this other stuff, I'm going to have a pop.
Frank Warren didn't bother dressing it up, dismissing the backstage flare-up as nothing more than a push and a shove, and in doing so he quietly embarrassed everyone involved. His message landed cold and sharp, reminding them boxing isn't a street gang spectacle. The only place chaos earns meaning is inside the ropes, where fists decide truth. Anyone losing control before fight night, in his view, only exposes themselves as reckless and foolish. From where Warren stood, this entire pre-fight circus was pointless noise, manufactured drama that never needed to exist.
Well, this is not a gang fight, you know. The only two would be fighting are the boxers, and save it for the night. They don't get paid. They don't get paid to fight before the fight.
Before the brawl, the press conference was already boiling, a tense back-and-forth crackling between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez Sr. Words sliced through the room as Lopez Sr. flaunted his son's belts and attacked Shakur's credibility, while Stevenson met the heat head-on, visibly ready to fire back. Every sentence, every verbal jab tightened the air, signaling both camps were braced for a collision waiting just off camera, ready to explode the second the lights died completely.
Your belts, man.
Who did you
he ain't
lose
in the
to?
pound for pound list, man.
Yo,
this is
senior,
bullshit.
Senior, who did you lose to?
Bullshit.
Who did you lose to?
Been baby
you was
all
in the
your
corner that
freaking life.
night. You was in the corner that
baby all
night.
your life.
Okay, now watch this.
Man,
watch
I got
January
you on the pound
31st.
for pound list, man.
After the fight,
pizza
I want you to
beta.
talk everything you've been talking since I've been baby.
Man, I can't wait.
I'm gonna show you.
Man, I
I'ma
wish it
show
was
you.
tomorrow, man. I wish it was today, man.
Man, we could. I'm ready right
shut
now.
you down.
I'm ready at.
The Wade concept framed the chaos with clarity, arguing that while fighters shouldn't be putting hands on each other, this is still the fight game where disorder has always lived. He reminded viewers the sport has endured far worse, from heated backstage scuffles to full confrontations, even objects flying through the air. In combat sports, tension and drama are unavoidable companions, but moments like this underline just how volatile and explosive pre-fight atmospheres can become without warning.
Shouldn't be doing it. They shouldn't be putting hands on each other. But it is the fight game, and we've seen far worse. We've seen guys get in fights. We've seen people throw dollies in this game. And
Johnny Nelson tore into the timing and sheer recklessness of the move, stressing that pulling something like this on the morning of a fight is completely out of bounds. He labeled it dangerous, not just for the fighters involved, but for the credibility of the sport itself. By highlighting that regulatory boards are now trapped with a tough decision, Nelson cast the incident as a serious line crossed, one that could trigger consequences far bigger than anyone expected.
To make the way how he's done it, you know, on the morning of a fight, it's just wrong. It's dangerous, and the board are now in a situation where they think shit.
Dave Caldwell underlined how sharply the incident shifted everything, labeling it a little bit naughty yet undeniably significant. Press conferences thrive on playful tension, but laying hands on another man's face shatters an unspoken rule. Caldwell warned that whether driven by ego or provocation, this move ignites the situation, injecting a dangerous new intensity that forces everyone to pay attention long before fight night ever arrives.
Because that's a little bit naughty, because I know it's all, you know, fun and games at press conferences, but when you lay your hands on another man's face, whether there's an egg in it or not, you've laid your hands on his face, and that.
Simon Jordan didn't pull a single punch as he dissected the chaos, reminding everyone that boxing has always thrived on its untamed moments. From spitting incidents to volatile confrontations, fighters have a habit of crossing lines, and that danger is woven into the sport's raw intensity. By invoking Jerry Chisora versus Vitaly Klitschko, Jordan emphasized how tempers ignite and rules bend when egos collide. He wasn't offended, but he was clear that Shakur and Teofimo Sr's backstage clash wasn't empty theatrics. It was a message. In boxing, respect is fought for, boundaries are challenged, and this moment has struck a nerve, lighting a fire beneath fans and fighters alike.
An egg on his face. I mean, how many times have we seen boxers do things that they shouldn't do? You know, we saw Derek Chisora spit on Vitaly Klitschko.
We didn't need that.
I'm not offended.
Adam Smith nailed the chaotic truth of the fight business with brutal accuracy. Moments like this happen, and while they're never encouraged, they undeniably supercharge the energy around an event. Head-to-heads are supposed to stay as face-offs, not spill into confrontations, but when emotions hit boiling point, the spectacle explodes instantly. Smith made it clear this isn't about justifying the behavior, it's about understanding how pre-fight tension can detonate without warning and rewrite the entire narrative. Shakur and Teofimo Sr's fiery exchange has now stamped itself as a defining flashpoint, sending shockwaves through boxing and forcing everyone to question who will keep their nerve, and who will crack, once the gloves are finally on.
Big for the casual fans. Do we condone it? I mean, in boxing terms, should that happen at a head-to-head? Of course not, but these things do happen. This is the fight business, and it's just made it even bigger, and we wait to see what happens.
Eddie Hearn delivered his verdict with brutal clarity. The initial push, he said, was insignificant compared to what followed, and the fallout exposed how human even the most elite fighters truly are. He pointed to Anthony Joshua, normally calm and controlled, unraveling under sustained verbal attacks, proof that pressure and provocation can fracture even the strongest facades. Seen through that lens, Shakur's reaction to Teofimo Sr wasn't excessive or reckless. It was instinct, a reflexive stand for respect. Hearn's take folds the chaos into a wider story where ego, pride, and anticipation collide, transforming a routine press conference into a defining headline moment fans will analyze, debate, and replay for weeks to come.
The push was, we've seen worse, you know what I mean? But lively, and what followed actually was one of the few times that I've seen Anthony Joshua unravel, if you like, because normally he's very composed, but you can't be composed when a man's talking to you like that.
The Wade concept cast the backstage clash as a stark reminder of boxing's wild, unpredictable core. He admitted it crossed a line. Fighters have no business putting hands on each other away from the spotlight, yet in combat sports, disorder is never far away. From sudden punches to objects flying through the air, the fight game has always been littered with shocking scenes. By invoking past incidents, he placed Shakur and Teofimo Sr's scuffle into proper context, showing it wasn't empty theatrics, but an emotional, calculated reaction born in a high-stakes pressure cooker. Fans feed on tension, and moments like this pour fuel on the fire, turning every pre-fight stare, shove, and spoken word into something loaded, volatile, and dangerously meaningful.
On stage their face off, of course not. Yes, it's over the line. You shouldn't be doing it. They shouldn't be putting hands on each other. But it is the fight game, and we've seen far worse. We've seen guys get in fights. We've seen people throw dollies in this game and combat.
Then the talker dissected the matchup with sharp insight and dramatic flair, noting that while Teofimo brings raw character and an awkward, unpredictable edge, Shakur Stevenson carries something far more dangerous: complete control. He stressed Shakur's elite boxing IQ, the way he slows opponents to his tempo, commands distance with cold precision, and bends the rhythm of a fight to his will. While giving respect to Teofimo's athletic bursts and tricky angles, he showed no hesitation in siding with Stevenson as the man destined to walk away victorious. This breakdown cut through the noise, proving that beyond the pre-fight chaos and hype, Shakur's accuracy and tactical discipline elevate him to another level. As fans absorb the analysis, the tension sharpens. Teofimo may thrive in disorder, but Shakur's calculated style, patience, and experience signal a fighter prepared for every surprise, every surge, and every desperate gamble his opponent unleashes when fight night finally explodes.
Teofimo, he's funny, he's got character, but he's a great fighter. He's very athletic. He comes from awkward angles, and I do like his style, but I study boxing, I watch boxing, and I do like Shakur's style. The way he breaks his opponents down, he slows it down to his pace, he's got good distance. If you got to pick someone, I'm going Shakur.
But in this blistering pre-fight exchange, Shakur Stevenson fired a message that landed with force. When fight night arrives, every doubt gets settled between the ropes. He challenged Teofimo Lopez Sr. and his son to step up and prove it, making it clear he fears no style, not even one he hasn't faced before. The sharp back and forth exposes Shakur's supreme confidence and psychological edge. He understands patterns, dissects styles, and adjusts in real time. His "don't try me" tone isn't empty bravado, it's a calculated warning to anyone foolish enough to underestimate him. By questioning Lopez's approach while referencing Zapata's style as a measuring stick, Stevenson reveals a fighter thinking several moves ahead, turning mind games into a weapon long before the opening bell. The tension now feels electric, heavy, unavoidable, leaving fans braced for a collision where words didn't just promote the fight, they loaded it, setting the stage for a volatile showdown that promises answers delivered with fists, not excuses.
Fight night, we'll figure out whether he's better than Zapata or more of a challenge than Zapata. I know Zapata's style.
Hold the don't try me.
Nah, I'm just saying, bro, like, you ain't fight a fighter with that kind of style yet to know, like, whether he's, you know, that's all I'm saying.
Don't try me.
You bring a different style to the table, brother.
Eddie Hearn sketched a striking portrait of Shakur Stevenson's relentless devotion, branding him a full-blown boxing lunatic in the purest sense. He made it clear Stevenson isn't merely gifted, he's consumed by the pursuit of perfection, obsessed with sharpening every microscopic detail of his game. From brutal sparring rounds to unforgiving conditioning sessions, Shakur's unhinged work ethic and burning passion separate him from nearly everyone else in the division. Hearn stressed this dominance isn't luck or raw talent alone. It's endless hours locked inside the gym, grinding when no one's watching, a commitment so extreme it turns promise into control. That glimpse behind the curtain explains why Shakur looks so composed on fight night and why his reactions under pressure feel automatic, almost programmed. Fans and analysts can now see the logic behind the madness. This is a fighter so deeply invested in his craft that even the loudest press conferences, the ugliest confrontations, and the wildest pre-fight chaos can't shake him once the gloves are laced and the real fight finally begins.
He was brilliant at that because, one, he wants top sparring, but two, he gives his time as well because he's a gym rat, he's a boxing lunatic.
Abel Sanchez peeled back the layers of the matchup, zeroing in on the tactical battle that could decide everything, stressing that Shakur Stevenson must own the distance to suffocate Teofimo Lopez's biggest weapons. Lopez thrives on aggression, baiting opponents forward so he can strike back with sharp counters, but Shakur's discipline, patience, and defensive awareness make him a nightmare to pin down. Sanchez explained that Stevenson has to seize control of the tempo, forcing Lopez to attack on Shakur's schedule, not his own, while staying calm and reading every counter before it's thrown. This won't be a fight settled by reckless pressure or raw emotion. It's a high-level chess match unfolding under bright lights, where timing, angles, and restraint matter more than brute force. If Shakur executes correctly, his precision and ring IQ can flip Lopez's aggression into a liability, turning forward motion into openings. Fans should brace for a bout rich in tactical nuance, where Stevenson's mastery of space and rhythm slowly tightens the trap. Should he follow the blueprint, the result could be a surgical display of control, a quiet dismantling of a dangerous, explosive athlete who finds himself outthought at every turn.
Great talent, and Teofimo looked great in his last fight. Of course, he didn't have Shakur in front of him, but I think that for Shakur, he has to keep the fight at his distance. If he does that, I think it's a win for him. Teofimo, he's more, he wants to draw you in, he wants to counterpunch. He's going to have to be a different guy this time. He's going to have to attack. He's going to have to be leading the...
Timothy Bradley Jr. didn't dress it up or soften the reality. Shakur Stevenson is walking into a brutal test. After breaking Lopez down frame by frame, He spotlighted the explosive athleticism and lightning-fast hands that make Lopez a live threat at every second. Bradley warned that pure speed and movement alone can unsettle even the sharpest elite fighters, meaning Stevenson will need far more than talent to control this fight. Skill, awareness, discipline, and timing must merge perfectly to survive and then dominate. This is no runaway matchup. Lopez thrives in chaos, capable of forcing mistakes and flipping momentum in an instant, turning the bout into a high-stakes tactical war. Bradley's assessment magnifies the scale of the challenge in front of Stevenson. He has to remain razor-sharp, command distance, and read Lopez's unpredictability before it unfolds. Fans should prepare for a fight decided by milliseconds, where split-second reactions carry massive consequences, because in this matchup, one slip, one late adjustment, one misread angle could rewrite everything. It's the ultimate collision of Stevenson's calculated boxing intelligence against raw, explosive athletic power, a dangerous equation where control and chaos are constantly fighting for dominance.
It's not gonna be an easy damn fight for Shakur Stevenson. No, it ain't gonna be an easy fight. No. After studying freaking Lopez yesterday, man, look, that athleticism that he got, that's...
The tension, the chaos, the raw emotion, all of it has dragged us to a ruthless final countdown. Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez isn't just another bout on a crowded card, it's a violent collision of skill, strategy, ego, and unbreakable will. From explosive press conferences to ugly backstage flashpoints, we've already tasted what's waiting once the ropes close. This is discipline colliding with aggression, cold intelligence clashing with dangerous unpredictability. Fans, analysts, and fighters everywhere are holding their breath, watching to see who controls the tempo, who forces their rhythm, and who splinters when the pressure tightens. One truth is undeniable: this fight is already etched into boxing lore before a single punch lands, and its echoes will linger for years. So now the spotlight turns to you. Who survives, who dominates, and who walks away exposed when the gloves finally snap on? Drop your prediction below, tag your friends, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our full fight breakdown and raw reactions the moment the main event explodes.